Welcome, everyone. It is Feminine Fridays and the new normal, as I like to say. Hi, Diane.
Hey, Laura, great to be here. One of the things that's great about that, even though we are all spending some more quality alone time, that we still get to reach out and connect with everyone. And that's one of the great things about having a social platform is it gives us an opportunity to reach out and see how are you guys all doing. Put in some of the comments. What's happening in your world? Like what? How about this? How about what good thing is happening to you because of having more time?
Yeah, what good thing. I'll put that up here. And it's really an opportunity for good things, right? Good things are going on in your life. Let's spread the positive energy. And I had this thought today that there's this calm in the center of a storm type of thing, that we can be that calm in the center of the chaos. And if we really tap into it, there's really a whole ton of calmness available for us. And that's why I picked a card today that was just perfect, I think, for us. And so, as you know, we come on weekly. We've been doing this for weeks since last summer, I think, and pulling a card from the Feminine Power deck at femininepowercards.com. And that's this deck. And on the pink side, we have a principle, and on the blue side, we have a practice. And today's practice is very, very, it's short. You see, it's just it's 3 words. Simplify your life. What a great opportunity, right? Duh! We have that opportunity right now.
Yeah,
So
I
simplify
love
your life.
this.
Yeah. So here's something, if you want to add to, like, what's good in your life, or what can you do to simplify your life, just sprinkle those notes below. And let's inspire each other to do something. So the blue side is the principle. And this principle, I mean, the blue side, I'm sorry, is the practice. So how can you do it? And on our cards, we either have a heart, a smiley face, or a star. And the star means something to do. The smiley face is something to affirm, and the heart is something to contemplate. So today we're going to take some action because there's a star there. So choose a closet
Nice.
or a cabinet, pull out anything you have not used in a year, and put it in a donate or discard box.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I am such a fan of clearing your environment, and it's such a big reflection of what is in our space can either actually cause more chaos and more stress. And, in a time where some people may be feeling like helpless or, there's that unknown. I mean, the news flash is that there's always an unknown, right? I mean, life has changed, and this is just kind of a bigger version of that. And to actually be able to shift things in your space, to be able to get rid of things that you're not using, that you don't love, can make such a huge empowering thing in what you're up to. In fact, I've even been doing that. It's just
Well,
going to like the next level of like, okay, what am I not using? What can I give to somebody else? Things that are in your pantry maybe that you haven't used for a while that are healthy, right? If they're not, just get rid of all those too, right? Because it's a good opportunity to be proactive around your health, about your well-being, getting more rest. I mean, there's so many great things. I mean, how many people ask for, hey, I wish I had more time. Here you go. What are you going to do with it? You know?
yeah, and what I love about what you're saying is, so when you clean out something, it's something you can control. Yeah. And right
Yes.
now we feel like there's some things we can't control. If you want to get a sense of control, which actually calms me down, I go do something good, productive, cleaning out, making my environment the way I want it to be, shifting one thing. You'd be kind of amazed. The other thing, and please add your ideas here. How do you get back to calm? How are you going to use this time? Doing something creative is also a really good idea. So can you do a project that you've wanted to do that you put off for a while because it's just not at the top of your to-do list? It's something fun and creative, but you have all the scrapbooking materials, or you have the wallpaper or whatever you were going to do, right?
Well, it's funny. I mean, I have the benefit of, my grandkids live like 6 blocks from me. And I was telling my daughter, like, we should do some fun things. And so my youngest granddaughter, Sloan, called me and said, hey, Jima, I want to do, a school class, an art class, a stretch class, like all these things. I go, come over. I'm the best school on the block. I said, let's just do some of these fun things. And, we've been doing a lot of that. And, we did a puzzle together, and we did some art, drawing, and we did some yoga. And, there's a lot of virtual classes now available online that people are doing, like from our gym, Fitness Quest. They're doing virtual training. There's virtual meditation I've been doing in the morning. I mean, there's so many ways to stay connected and be able to do all those things that we wanted to do to improve our life and connection.
Yeah, if you have a resource you want to share, please put it in here, down here in the place you put those things. We'd love to be a resource to you. And of course, our Feminine Fridays are all at Feminine Power Cards on Facebook. They're also on YouTube. So there's more on Facebook, though. So go to the Feminine Power Cards page and you can see us. And every week we've pulled a card and we've talked about it. So I think it gives us a lot of information and ideas and ways. And just to remembering, the important things in life are really still here as always. The people who love you, the people who care about you, the people you care about. What's more important than that, right?
Definitely. I
And
love
I'm
it.
glad you, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say the simplification. I just love that word is in there because, when it comes down to it, we really don't need that many things. I know that there's a bit of a panic of, having to grab a bunch of things at the store and all of that. But, when it comes down to it, I mean, what do you really need?
I know I am.
Basic.
Yeah, basic. I was in the store and I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need that. Like I was more saying, well, what I was trying to figure out, well, what would I'm not going to stock up on beans. I don't eat beans. Sorry. I just don't really like them. My husband does, so maybe I did stock up for him, actually. I did. Um, and I don't eat pasta. It's like, no, I'm not going to stock up on pasta. Although Costco had this great rice and millet ramen. I was like, oh, I can do that. So I kind of got creative. How will you simplify though? Are you going to clean out a closet? Are you going to, how about a drawer? How about one of your pots and pan drawer? Now, what's the good news is about this is there are going to be people who are going to need stuff, right, at some point. And so if you create that donate box, when we are able to, get back in touch with each other, we can donate those things to people who will need them at that time. And it's like less is more, right? Less is
Right.
more, baby.
Well, it's also a good time too to ask, like, okay, so how is this working for me? Like, what is happening here that there's a shift that I'm making? Like I was talking to my sister and she usually went to Costco and got like the big whole milks of, homogenized milk, that isn't, we all know that some of those things aren't the best choices and they were out of it. And she said, you know what? She told her boys, this is a great time we're going to switch to almond milk. Right. And it's like she'd been wanting to do it. And now with it not being available, it's almost like a forced change where she's like, this is ultimately going to be a better health choice for
Yep.
my boys.
Yep.
So, there are good things that can come out of this.
Totally. We're already seeing checklists of things that are coming out on a macro and a micro level. I mean, the air quality just alone, the less impact on the environment. I mean, Greta Thunberg must be happy to know that people are staying home. They're not putting that pollution in, and there may be some good about that. And it's interesting because I was just talking with my husband about that, and I go, I don't know if the concern really should be about climate change. And I know that's terrible to say, but I've always been like, hey, stop polluting my lungs because this is not good for my body. Never mind the environment, right? So let's do stuff that's good for our body. And I think this is good for our body. More people are taking time to walk and exercise and inside their homes, like the virtual. I don't belong to a gym, so I'd love to find a virtual thing. We did yoga last night, though, virtually. That was fun. It worked.
Yeah.
And so there's ways to connect, and I would love to see some virtual meal times together, like where we could share, hey, come over to my house tonight for we're cooking, and virtually come over to my house, right? Who
Right.
wants to come over
Well,
for some virtual Thai food?
well, people are also getting really creative. Like, I don't know if you've seen some of the, I'm making a point of only watching the things where people are being innovative and they're doing positive things. Like, I'll maybe keep a pulse on just where the direction's going for like 20 minutes, but I am not going to watch the news channels that are like Chicken Little, the sky is falling for,
Please
that's just going
don't
to cause more fear
take a
for
news
people. It's
diet.
just, it's ridiculous, right? And so, some fun things that like apartment complexes where people are out on their balconies and they're playing music for each other, right? I mean, just some really cool things. There was a like a kids coach that came like in the middle of a quad, and all the kids stayed in their apartment complexes and were out on he was teaching them to do like some exercises, and it was leading them through that where they could see each other but they were in their own places. So just those kind of fun, innovative things that people are up to. And it's a great reminder that we have to take 100% responsibility for our health. Like, whether or not something was happening or not, everything is around prevention. What can you do to boost your immune system right now? Are you getting more sleep? Are you getting, good water? Are you choosing good foods? I mean, these are things that we should do all the time anyway. This just in our face right now with this is happening, is having that reminder that you actually have a lot more control over your health than you think that you do by being proactive with the things that you already know you need to do. Breathe, eat well.
Yeah, so it's time to up our health game. I love that. We're not like health professionals, but we do have that health consciousness. I know you do a lot. Are there 2 or 3 tips you can give people what they can do? I know you said sleep more. What else?
Well, I would say one of the things that we forget the most is breathing, like deep breathing. It's interesting that, and this is really a form of a flu, and the fact that it's actually attacking more like lungs for people who have compromised systems. What are you doing to expand your lungs with just breath? I mean, taking a deep breath in does so much for your mind, your spirit, your anxiety. It's such a simple thing that we actually forget about it. And so you want to actually take a deep breath in where you're actually pushing your belly out as big as it can, where it's just like deep breaths, right?
Slower.
There can be those lower, slower. It's just getting more of that in. I mean, you can actually go through a whole different ranges where you're like doing fast breathing and slow breathing and mindful breathing, just looking just where you're just paying attention to your breath, and just doing that for really literally just a couple minutes a day is huge. Go girl in the water.
And then we want to drink lots of water, even if it's just clear. Hopefully, it's purified water, but whether you buy it bottled or you purify it yourself or you go to a purifier, that will help our system stay very lubricated, flushing out anything that we need to not have in our systems, keeping us very alert. It's good for the brain, helps move that oxygen through, right? And anything we don't need. So how much water can you drink? Challenge you to drink a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. You can't really drink too much water. I mean, there is overdoing it, but chances are you're not going to do that. Right? How much water do you drink?
I probably drink like half my body weight, in ounces. So that's kind of been a good like rule of thumb. But I always look like let your environment support you. I actually have like a glass, like a little glass in like almost every room of my home,
Yeah.
and I've got like sets of water like next to it as well. So I'm always being able to support in from where I'm at. In fact, I can just reach this right here where I am here in the kitchen. Always have a thing of water, spring water, and a glass, and I always keep them full. So anytime I walk by one of those like water stations, I've got one in my bathroom, my bedroom, at my desk. I've got it in the kitchen. It's everywhere. So no matter where I'm at, I can just take a sip
It's
on it.
just a matter of putting a glass everywhere with water, and I know
Really?
I'm going around my house every night collecting all the glasses that are around. It's like, oh, I gotta wash them because I don't have like an unlimited supply of glasses, but I have 4 or 5 that I can just put around, and, sometimes I'll
Yeah.
put 2 on my desk because if I don't get up, I want at least 2 there. I sometimes, I have started putting in echinacea drops and, vitamin C powder. Not a lot, just a little. Plus, it makes it more flavorful in there, and, it's boosting immune system, so,
Right.
I love
You
that.
can drop in essential oils too, you
Mhm.
know. So
Yes.
I keep lemon in my kitchen. So sometimes I put, put in a little bit of lemon. So whatever keeps it interesting and fun.
Yeah. So we hope you're staying safe. You're doing things to maybe feel more in control by simplifying things, cleaning out. Um, it's spring cleaning. We're on the cusp of what is tomorrow? The first day of spring. Can you
Absolutely.
believe
Great
it?
timing.
Yeah. So up your health game. Simplify your life. Remember that there's calm right here, right now, you can tap into. One of the things I'm gonna start doing are one-minute relaxation moments. I did these years ago on Facebook, and I'm bringing them back. They're just gonna be one-minute times where you can focus in on your breath and remember that the new normal's okay, and this too shall pass, and we will get to a even better normal, that, once we crush this thing, if we're all, like you said, taking responsibility. And what is taking responsibility? It's about keeping, not only keeping yourself safe, but keeping other people safe. So, like, I went out shopping and I'm like, I couldn't wait to get home because I didn't want to risk, well, what if I touch something and I touch somebody else, Um, so just, take responsibility for crushing this thing. Let's crush it, everyone. We're just got it. We've got this. Hashtag we've got this. You know,
Right. And the part that you can do when we talk about responsibility, I mean, we've all heard the breaking down is, the ability to respond, right? So what's it going to take for you to respond to this in with less fear, with empowerment, that of really coming from a place where you're centered? Like, what do you need to do to respond in a positive way when chaos is happening around you? I mean, that is true power, when you can actually, you know, dive deep within and come from a place where you can respond positively. Because if you are calm, if you're the vessel, you become the leader, that everyone around you then becomes calm and then responds better. I mean, think about it. You've got people who are like screaming, things are happening. What's that do to everyone around you? That vibration, it's a ripple effect.
right.
And so if you are that centered person where you're, sharing with other people, breathe deeply, drink water, get rest, connect with your
Take
kids,
some
you
vitamins.
know, all the things that you can do, more probiotics, eating cleaner. I mean, there's so many little simple things that we know in theory, but in the busyness of life, we maybe don't do. If you look at this in terms of like, if this is happening for you, you have the opportunity and the time to do those things. And you then can start creating the habits of that. So then when things revert to whatever the new normal is going to be, you've already established these habits. They've already happened for you to do that. So simplifying is such a great way to just utilize this time to the best of your ability.
That's the message. Simplify your life. That was today's Feminine Power card. So we'll be back next week. Feel free to keep putting resources here on this post and find ways to connect that's healthy and safe. I loved what you said. I would like to leave people with this is, like the neighbors playing music that is nice, that's inspiring and positive and not, annoying, or, connecting with people virtually. Uh, Anyone have a resource, please add it here or private message us, and we will be happy to share that with others. So there's so much connection going on. We are so lucky to have this virtual world that we have. Imagine if this happened in the early 90s, 1990s, that is, or 1890s. But, it would be really, really a completely different scenario. So we're really blessed, and we are blessed to have you, and we're sending out lots of blessings.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Enjoy
Mwah.
your day. You have all of it to do whatever you want.
Take care.